contact with a very sacred group of people living in an area called the Sierra Nevada. And I spent 5 weeks in Colombia. The first 4 weeks I was in the mountainous area with these people, and I was really blessed because of a meeting that I had with a woman named Sabrina Montenero, who I think everyone should really become familiar with. Her work with these sacred mamos, they're called, spiritual leaders. And she has been working with them for the past year. Her first connection began actually 9 years ago, but for the past year she's been bringing these very sacred, beautiful messages out to the world and doing a radio program to take recorded messages and share them with us. And so her work is really invaluable. Like, it's just so beautifully done and with such a big heart. And really that's how I was able to travel to this sacred area and these sacred people was because of the caring of Sabrina Montenero. So I have to first of all thank her. But the focus, as many of you may or may not know, is that many, many years ago, in 1988, I had a very profound experience that changed my life, and it brought me around to the point where I was waiting for the right time, I guess, within myself, within society, within the world, to really step forward and begin sharing this very spiritual and very personal, very, very personal story of my beliefs in the other worlds, one might say, and actually acknowledging to the people around me that I've had very much psychic ability all of my life, for example, and that all of these experiences, profound, oddly different experiences, they were odd back then, not so much anymore these days, but visions and premonitions that I was having really have changed my life. And the focus that has come out of all of it, not just the this contact that I had with tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed extraterrestrials 22 years ago, but also through my own intuitions and my own visions, how I've been really led to do the work that I'm doing and have a very deep understanding of the connection between all of humanity, all of the other, as I can say it in many different ways, but all of the other levels of life, meaning the other dimensions, the other realities, the other worlds, and understanding how they're really connected with one another. And our actions here in this moment, in this very moment, affect everything. It affects our Earth. It affects the rest of humanity. It affects the other worlds and the other levels of life. And I've been taking that message to as many people as will, take the time to sit down and listen. And it's not something that's understood in one interview. You can't go to one interview of mine and really understand it. I don't think that you can. I think that there's a lot more to it than just one interview. And I also know that the direction that I've been moved to is to really do what I can as a person, taking personal responsibility, to really ask the tribes of the world to come together and physically come together with the possibility of, stepping forward to humanity and sharing with us in a very clear, concise, collective way their knowledge. And they've been doing this for years and years and years. There's no difference here. There's nothing groundbreaking that's going to say, okay, oh my God, they said what do we want from them as outsiders? I think that there is a misunderstanding from people all over the world about what they hold. And when I talk about something called sacred knowledge, it does not necessarily mean that it's a secret. Sacred knowledge is something that is sacred. It is knowledge that they carry and walk with. And I can't explain any one tribe's beliefs. I can't talk about their ceremonies. I can't talk about the intricacies of their lives. That's for them to do. But what I can say is that they do hold certain ways of speaking and sharing this knowledge that does have an impact on those who choose to listen. And if we can come together, meaning the people from the industrialized world and these sacred people who have really held the earth in its position of being sacred on their lands for as long as they have, through all of the struggles that they have as the original caretakers of this earth, if all of us with the same heart can come together, then we can once again make another move towards creating the world that we all want to be living in. And that's the point of my work. That's the point of why I came forward. And so I've been trying to make these connections and networks all over the world, really, trying to make them from all over the world. And not all of them are public. And I don't ever, I've never at any point have I ever said that I have connections to all of these different indigenous tribes, because I just simply don't. Well, what I have said is that I'm putting the call out to them, and I'm trying to reach out to as many of them as I can to give them this message, that we're here and we're ready as, quote, outsiders to listen. We're ready to listen. And that, building a website that we have up right now called the Great Gathering.org as an extension to my other website. And the Great Gathering.org is really going to be something to see probably in about, I'm not sure when. When I left to go to Colombia back in December, when I returned, I was going to start working on it, but unfortunately there have been some delays. And all this week I've been in phone calls and Skype conferences with people to talk about finishing the project for the website and to finish putting all of the information and networking onto that site. So there's going to be some major changes that you're going to see at thegreatgathering.org in the next month. Also, as an extension of that, Jeremiah, you yourself have taken things on in order to, take your personal responsibility doing this radio program. There is the most beautiful video clip that is on my website right now that you sent to me. It's a short clip. And I want to tell you something, Jeremiah. I watched that video clip, and do you know what happened? I had tears in my eyes. I thought it was absolutely moving and beautiful. I was really touched by it because I felt your intention and your heart through that. And it was really, I mean that. It made me cry. I phoned my friend afterwards. I'm like, I can't believe it. They did this. So it was really wonderful. And I've been fortunate to have people along the way in my path who really helped to facilitate this path, this work that I'm on. And right now there's a man named Bill Ottman who has stepped into this role of really wanting to grab onto the Great Gathering and make it a reality. And so I've been blessed, and I can tell you, to be the very first place that I'm announcing this, and that is that we are starting our own radio program for the Great Gathering. And it's going to be the Great Gathering Radio on Spirit Quest Radio. And the first show is going to be on March 15th. So I'm really looking forward to that. And what we're going to be doing is having just everyday people on it talking about what they're doing in order to facilitate this gathering of the minds, which is what Bill Ottman is heading up. And how we're going to bring people together. So it's a big project.
Exciting news. Thanks for sharing that with us. You must have a lot of bumps along the way trying to get this information out. You obviously stated that you chose to come out at a certain time, and really a time when